very special episode in here today, man. I'm excited about this one. Y'all know I've been getting into my comedic endeavors and stuff. Got a real good guy in here, real great comedian by the name of Ryan Gordon.
Hello.
Welcome to the show, man.
Why you come on there like that?
Roll away like the president, didn't he?
No, yeah.
Said I was special, you know.
Yeah, he's special, man. We had to that's why we rolled out the green carpet for you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Ryan was my first open mic I went to. Ryan was hosting, and he brought me up. You know what I'm saying? And he said this is his first podcast he's ever been on.
Hell
so
yeah.
It's good to bring him in here.
That's right. I forgot Dante's last name, and he called me racist.
That ain't, see, he paraphrasing the joke. That ain't how it really went. That's not word for word what I said. But it was something like that. It was something like that.
It was.
Nah, man. So this is the Qualified to Motivate podcast. So we always ask everybody on here, and I think you got a really good reason, but we always ask everybody who comes on here, what makes you qualified to motivate the people out there, man?
Oh, shit. Probably nothing.
Nah, bro, you got this, man. Everybody's qualified to motivate, man. That's the beauty in it.
Well, I like, some people say it's like you can learn as much from a person on what to do as like you can what not to do. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, I would be very qualified.
Right.
To motivate people.
Yeah,
it's
man.
like a reverse psychology kind of thing, you know?
If we could all just learn those lessons without having to do it ourselves,
exactly.
Wouldn't it be a better world?
Exactly.
Oh man, so what? Let's start from the beginning of the comedic journey, man. What got you started in the comedy? What was your start? What age?
Let's see. It hasn't been that. I've been in it doing stand up itself. Has been about probably 2-ish years.
Right.
I got started. I got in like this real bad car wreck, and then I was living on my aunt's couch. Mm-hmm. And so I actually started on like social media. I started posting videos, and they started doing pretty decent. And then people were like, "You should try stand up," and I was like, "All right, fuck it. Why not?" So that was about probably 2 years ago. But yeah, I'm like, I started with the videos first, and I think a lot of comedians, they don't really vibe with that. You know?
Not especially like the older comedians, they ain't rocking with that at all. But I feel like if you're really getting up there, it doesn't really matter. Like if you start getting up there and getting on stage, you're doing it.
Right.
It's nerve wracking.
I feel like Desi Banks probably started that with the videos, and then he popped off that way. I mean, I don't know how it really went, but it seemed like he was just doing stuff on
your mic, son.
My fault. It just seemed like he was doing stuff on, on Instagram. Then he just blew up.
Yeah, he popped off. He's one of the ones that like really blew up, and like Country Wayne and them. A lot of people are blowing up off the videos. Yeah. What type of videos you try to make? Just whatever comes.
Yeah, I mean, they're just like, really when it started, I would just do like the front facing camera or whatever, and then just like say dumbass jokes. And but I put very, very little effort into my videos. One time I spent like all day working on this parody. It took me probably like 8 hours, and then it got taken down immediately for copyright infringement. And I was like, I will never spend more than 1 minute making a video.
That hurts. That will hurt. That's a long grind to put into something just to watch it get copyright took down.
Right. I think it's tough though, because like I don't want to post the same jokes on there that I do with my like stand up.
Right.
So it's like kind of left me in this weird like, should I post this as a video? Should I try to do it on stage? And then I just end up doing neither.
That's what I've been struggling with, trying to find some social media content to post besides like the podcast there. But I don't want to post like my stand-up clips.
Right.
Like, it's out there.
I know, yeah. I don't like, because if somebody's heard a joke one time, it's like already not funny. Like,
oh yeah.
After a couple times, I mean, maybe like twice you won't remember it, but like once you've heard something 2 or 3 times, it's like, yeah, it's not fucking funny at all.
I don't know, man. Bert Kreischer been telling that machine story for like 20 years now.
That's the craziest shit of all time, dude.
Yeah.
I need to write a story like that, honestly.
Right.
That's what I think you got to do with it, though. Like, I mean, obviously Bert Kreischer didn't do that, but like, and I'm not a comedian, so take it with a grain of salt. But you do it on stage first. You see how it goes. You like it. You do it until you've done it everywhere you're gonna do it, and then you post a video.
That's how I feel.
Right.
That's what I've been doing. Like, that's what I'm gonna do. Not what I've been doing. That's what I'm gonna do.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's like you kind of got to keep working it until it's like, But yeah, I don't know. I think everything's just changing now.
Yeah,
like I've done shows with comedians before, and they'll post every joke that they've like ever done on stage.
That's a lot of pressure.
And they'll post, and then it's all like the crowd work shit. And I don't really do crowd work. I'm not a huge fan of talking to strangers, So
I've seen you do some crowd work before.
I did.
Yeah, you remember we were there, and you're like, "Are y'all a couple?" And she goes, "That's my dad."
Oh yeah, that's why I don't do it, bro. Like stuff like that.
Oh, that's the first one we went to.
At the Root Bar.
oh shit,
That was like a beautiful couple. How long y'all been together? She's like, "That's my dad." I was like,
Damn.
"Yeah." And then that's why I was like doing crowd work.
Moving
Then
on.
it's like the stuff that's in the crowd. It's like what that happens. Like how you got to top that. Like if you don't have nothing to top that, then don't say nothing. Like don't ruin that moment trying to make a joke and then it not land. Like,
Right.
Just let that be funny and keep moving. But I'm not good at crowd work like that because I just haven't really tried it. I guess.
Yeah, me neither. It's like a lot of times I'll like ask the crowd a question, and then they'll like say something, and they'll just completely move on. That's my idea.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I'm like, yeah, are any of y'all doing this? And they'll be like, yeah or no, and I just like
Next.
go straight back into my material. I'm like, they'll never know I wrote this.
Right. That's what I'll be doing. Like I'll be basically trying to write it to where like I know what they're gonna say, and then I have this punchline. And every time I've tried that, I'll be like, "Yeah, so what's y'all's favorite flavor of popcorn?" And they be like, "I don't eat popcorn." And you're like, "Oh shit."
Right. Like, damn, that's the one answer I wasn't prepared for.
I just knew you was gonna say butter. Like, no, that's not how it works. Who's some of your favorite comedians that you would say that got you inspired to do stand up? I guess.
Honestly, my one favorite, and I try not to say it much because I'm like, I don't want to say directly just influenced, but one would be Theo Von for sure.
Okay. Nice.
He's
A lot of people.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Top 5 comedians right now. Ryan Gordon's top 5.
Let's see, my top 5 right now. I really like. I do like Theo. I try not to watch him at all because I don't want to like pick up his fucking mannerisms and shit. Let's see, I like Theo Von. I like Mark Normand.
Yeah, I like.
I like Sam Morril. Stavy.
Yeah.
Stavy, whatever his name is. Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis is hilarious.
And Matt too. But my biggest,
Matt
favorite, Matt McCusker.
Oh, okay.
McCusker,
They do
whatever.
that,
The
like,
guy
Matt
off the
and Shane's
podcast.
I was just making
podcast,
sure.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
I couldn't remember what his name was.
I just wanted to make sure we
Alright.
talking about
Same,
the same Matt.
Yeah.
All right.
Matt,
You know I'm not good with last names.
Yeah,
so.
I'll hear about it.
So do you still get nervous like right before you go on stage, or how do you feel?
So a lot of times, like when I'm doing like a regular show now, I don't feel that nervous because like at this point I've told usually the jokes, I've told them a shitload of times at this point.
Right.
So for me, I get more nervous a lot of times at like open mics because what trips me up is trying to remember what I'm gonna say because I'm like still pretty scripted because I'm pretty new. So I'll like, almost have it like word for word how I want to say it.
Right.
And then so I'll just start thinking like, fuck, I don't know what word comes next. Like the second time I ever went up to an open mic, I forgot what I was going to say and I just walked off stage and then never went back to that place.
That's my time, everybody.
I kind of did that at Noble one
Yeah.
night. I don't even think you see it. I think you stepped outside for a second. I'm glad you did, boy. I was up there and then it just left me. And they and the audience, they were so like they were into it, like yeah, like
Right.
finish it,
They're like, what's next?
what?
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm Dante Quitman.
Right. You just kinda like, oh, right.
I'm out.
I'm out.
Yeah,
No.
now I'm like getting a little bit better where I'm like more relaxed and it's like, because at a certain point you realize everyone's there to just have fun. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone heckle like just being an asshole.
Right.
Like a lot of people, they're trying to be supportive if they yell stuff out and stuff. It's like they're there to laugh. It's not like it's just a bunch of random people. Like they know what they're getting into. It's like,
Right.
Yeah. You hear it's a comedy show. It's not like you're walking by on the street and somebody's doing comedy. It's like we're all here for the same.
Right.
Right.
Well,
What,
yeah, I'd say the mics for sure are the
Cause you're trying out the new stuff. You don't know if this is gonna work.
right.
You just gotta say it and see if they laugh or
That
not.
shit is nerve wracking.
What's the most like nervous you've been? What's like that story? Remember, I was just about to. Oh, what's your most like just?
I mean, honestly, the very first like few times where I was just, and when I moved here too, because like I started in Florida and like down there, it was the order you signed up was the order that you went up on stage. So it took a lot of the guesswork out of it. So I moved it up here. I would get to the mics early. I'd sign up early, and then the mic would start, and then I wouldn't get called. And I was like, so I'd be sitting there the whole time just freaking. I quit wearing, I always wear black shirts now when I perform because I'll start sweating so bad.
Okay.
So like to me, it was the anticipation, you know, I'd be like, they're going to call me any minute. And then it'd be like 30 more people and I'd still just be sitting there. They were like, who's Ryan? Where the fuck?
That's the worst.
They're like, where is this guy?
That happened to me one time. I had to go last, and I just remember sitting there that whole time. And I remember by the time I got up, people done left. The band underneath, disclaimer started playing underneath. So I had to talk loud and stuff. I ripped it though, but I was mad that night. I was like, dang, going last. But it does it's nice to go last sometimes.
Yeah, no, I did. One time at Disclaimer, I went up. I got there probably 7 o'clock. I went up at like 11:15. Jesus. But yeah, honestly, I think last it's like I'd rather probably go later than like go towards the front. Yeah. You know,
because it's always stiff.
Right.
The first couple comedians, it don't even matter how funny you is. They're kind of just like ha ha ha.
Right.
Yeah. It takes like that 4th, 5th comedian to really get the first like room laugh.
So how do you prepare like the day you have a show or anything? Like, is it a normal day for you, or like, are there any rituals you do or anything? Or
I would say now I'm starting to get a little more like relaxed and just like. But normally, like tomorrow, I got a show. I mean, I probably won't do anything like crazy. I just I used to spend like all day getting ready and trying to memorize. Cause I'm like a lot of people, they can improv and stuff like that. I'm not good at that. So it's like, you know, I'll go through my set list, I'll write it out, and it kind of depends how much time you're doing.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times I'm hosting. So if I'm hosting, I pretty much got like my one host set. It's like all the stuff that won't horrify an audience. So I try to do that like when I'm hosting, but a lot of it depends on how much time I'm doing. But at this point, it's like, I'm starting to realize it ultimately doesn't matter that much, you know?
Yeah.
okay,
It's like, you can relax. I can relax, you know?
What's the longest set you ever done?
The longest I've ever done is probably about 35.
Sheesh.
whoa,
35
that's kind of
minutes or
crazy.
so.
That's like, dang, big time comedians. They do what, like an hour maybe?
Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
That's special.
That's you almost there for real. That's what's up.
No, it's crazy, like, because one thing you don't think about is, like, if you're doing even, like, 5 minutes at a mic and there's, like, nobody there, as opposed to if you're performing for 50, 75 people, you know, it takes them a lot longer to finish laughing.
Okay.
So you might, if you're doing a set and there's no one there, nobody laughing, that 30-minute set might only be 20 minutes. But if you're in front of a good crowd, you know, everyone's hooping and hollering. But also, too, like at a longer set, you could kind of, you know, meander around a little bit, just kind of BS with folks. And
Relax kind of.
Right. But I did 30 minutes at a rehab.
How was that? I've been wanting to ask you about. Let the folks know too. You be
Murdered
doing like
it,
stand up. You be doing stand up at rehabs, right? At the
Yeah,
recovery
yeah.
places.
Yeah, we
That's
did
a dope
one.
lane right there, man.
Yeah, no, honestly, it was sick. I had no idea that like people did that.
I ain't either.
Me neither.
But
That's kind of crazy.
yeah, we went to it's a place in Nashville, and they're kind of do like music therapy. They have like instruments there, and people, you know, you can play the instruments and stuff. But I went there, did 30 minutes there, and that's like what all my jokes are about. You know?
Yeah.
But honestly, it went really well.
That's dope. Yeah, because I know that's probably a good crowd too. You know, they're trying to laugh. They trying to take their mind off something. Like that's probably a good crowd to go and perform in front of.
Yeah, it was not. We did a trial run at the VA hospital. It didn't go as well.
Not the same.
They were looking at me. You know, they were like older, probably 70-year-old war
Been in the
veterans. and
service,
shit.
yeah.
They were just like, "What is this fucking guy talking about?" They're like, "Get us out of here!" You know.
Oh man.
What's your worst set? Like you ever remember just like bombing, like bad? You ever had one of them bad bombing stories?
I mean, I definitely have had some. a lot of disclaimer, honestly.
Do you remember one in particular? Like that was just I'll never forget that one. I did terrible.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, just the other day, I mean, we had we did a show and I went and then the other comedian went and then like probably 8 people got up and walked out all at the same time. Actually,
what did you say, man?
Nothing crazy, I don't think. I don't say things. One of my first shows I ever did, it was at some brewery. I was doing shows with this guy, and we were in like Myrtle Beach or something.
Oh yeah.
You know, real classy individuals. But I went up. I only did 10 minutes because the guy wanted to talk to me about social media, and I wanted to get into stand up, and I didn't know shit about stand up. I thought it'd be fucking easy. You know?
Yeah.
I was like, how hard can it be? And
Just stand up there.
but his one guy he used to go with would do 45 minutes. I only did 10 minutes.
Yeah, whoa.
And in that 10 minutes, I walked like 8 people. It was like a row of like 6 or 8 girls in the very back row, and they immediately just got up. But it was nice because there was nowhere to sit, so when they got up, I had a whole bench to myself.
Oh man, that's rough stuff right there.
I think the silence is worse than people leaving, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, they might have a reason to leave, but
Yeah.
Right.
silence,
Yeah.
like,
I was listening to
not being funny right
this
now.
one comedian, Paul Verzi. He was saying, like, just because people leave, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, those aren't the people you want in there.
Right.
Like, they're not gonna enjoy your comedy anyway. So
Right.
might as well go on and get up out of here.
Yeah, I think that's a big, like, because, you know, a lot of the shows here we do in Nashville, it's like, I feel like a lot of my jokes are for people who can't come to comedy shows. You know, they don't have $15 fucking to come to a comedy show, you mean? You know? I mean, a lot of the people in Nashville, you know, it's like old, rich, white people. And I'm like, well, I don't have that, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
You're not gonna like this.
You're not gonna like this at all.
I remember. Oh, I loved it though. I remember I told this one joke, and like it ripped. Like it's my first joke that I told, like that I knew, like it like killed the whole disclaimer. I was like, nice. But man, when I told it, it's a nasty one too. And I told it, there was this old couple sitting in the front, and I mean, this dude's face, he was looking. They both had their arms crossed. He looked up at me like. So they was both just looking disgusted. But everybody else around him is just dying laughing. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is what we're here for.
I looked at him. I said, oh, yeah. Like, I looked right at him. I was like, oh, yeah. He's so disgusted. Oh, man. It was hilarious, though, man. What do you like more about the comedy, writing it or performing it?
I mean, I do like writing stuff for sure. I'm starting to enjoy maybe both, like, because I'm not much of a performer, I don't think. Like, I gotta just kind of go up there and like talk real monotone and barely move at all. You know, I'm not very animated. So I'm trying to like do better at performing. I would say the writing, but recently I've been, I don't know. I haven't been feeling good about anything.
Man, no, don't do that. Don't say that to me. No, you was did good the other night at the disclaimer last week.
Yeah, it never really goes that bad, I think. I think it's like throws me off because now that I've been doing more shows, like actual shows, I think it was easier for me to write material when I was just doing open mics.
It definitely is. I get what you're saying because I'm just coming up on my first one, and now it's like, oh, it's like this is something I got to remember, like, and keep doing. And like,
Right.
It's like it's kind of harder doing the same thing twice than something completely different.
Yeah, I think it throws me off because like, and too, like when you're doing the shows, like I always forget. It's like, all right, this joke took a while to like get it to where I like it.
Yeah.
You know? So I'll go to an open mic, I'll try something one time, it won't go, and I'm like, oh, that joke fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I was like, I better not ever tell that joke again.
That is the difference. Like when you get back to the open mic, and then you're like, oh, like when you're not doing that prepared set. And so you don't get the laughs that you're expecting from your prepared set because you're doing new stuff. So you're like, oh, well, it's not good. It's not that it's not good. It's just you've been working on that one for like months and years.
Right,
so of course
right.
it's different.
Yeah, it's like I've told this one, like
I went down to that Laughing Skull in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And like I killed it. Like I ripped it up. Oh man, I felt so good about it. But man, I got off stage and my girlfriend and my cousin was there. They said, you did so good. I was like, man, did y'all see me walk off the stage before I went up? And it's like, nah. I was like, man, I went in the bathroom. I about threw up down there, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. I got so nervous, bro. And I've been there before. This is my second time there.
Yeah.
I didn't drink or nothing. I ate good that day. Like, I was just back there. Well, no, like, I went out there and I seen my my girlfriend them, and she had got like a Long Island. She was like, you want to try it? And I just took a sip of it, not like just to taste it. And then I went back and I was just back there sitting. And then there was like 3 more comedians and then me, and I was like, oh my God. All right, yeah. I went to the bathroom and I just locked in there and I pulled my head back. I was like about to bend over and throw up, and I just caught a few breaths. And
So what killed you? Like how big it was, the crowd or whatever?
I don't know. I still don't know. It wasn't. I've been there before. It's like 75 people max, and we get that many people at like Disclaimer sometimes. Yeah. And it was less people than it was the first time I went there. I don't know what it was.
Just feels more like, professional, probably. It just feels more legit.
Yeah,
you know?
but
like
I had been there before.
Stakes, yeah.
This was my second time at Laughing Skull. Like, so I was like, I don't know what it was.
Bro, I don't know. That takes me back to your story about how like you come up here and you're like 3rd on the list, but you didn't go till last. Like, that's a legit scare tactic. Like, they use that to get people to like fold on their friends.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying? They're like, let him sit in there and steam.
Dude, I was freaking out, dude. I mean,
oh man,
I'd seriously because I had no idea how it works. So I'd be just every person they called, I'd just be getting more and more nervous.
Yeah,
just absolutely. Yeah, I seriously stopped wearing. Like, I only wear black shirts now because I sweat.
Like that is smart though. That's very smart.
Yeah. Anybody that watches this, for the comedians, man, when you put your name on that list, go find the host. Don't just sit there.
That's what I do. I'm scared to talk to strangers.
That's what I like. Like, I got there early, like you said. Like, I got there even for like I think the workshop before. So I got there like 6. The show don't start till 8.
Oh yeah, that's when you told me you was going to. Yeah,
bro, I got there like 6:30 or something. Signed the list at 6:30, so my name's one of the first ones on there, and I didn't go up till last. I went dead last.
Yeah,
and I was probably the first 5 people to sign it, but I didn't know. It's like the host doesn't know who you are, so they're gonna put all the people they know up, like until you walk up and ask them. You know, they're gonna put the people they don't know kind of last, unless you say you're coming from out of town. Then they might put you up because they know you got to drive, but they're gonna put you up last, really, if they don't really know you. I feel like it's just like they don't know you. They don't know.
Right.
So if you walk up to them like, hey, my name is whatever. Oh, this is you right here? All right, I'll put you up whenever. But I sat there and I had to go last. Everybody done walked out. Like, there was people that hadn't walked. Like, it was like 60 people in there, but by the time I went up, it was maybe like 20.
Yeah, that's probably the bad part.
Yeah, I was mad. But I killed it, though. It was great.
Yeah, you just get all those real drunk people there at the end, you know?
Yeah.
That's the ride or dies right
Yeah,
there.
they're here for comedy, hot damn it.
having a good time regardless.
Good time.
So for anybody watching, what would you, and like if anybody watching who wants to be a comedian, what advice would you give them to start up?
Let's see. Just do it, mainly. I would say my biggest piece of advice is like just take shit from like your own life, you know? Like everything else has already been done.
Right.
Except your own life and like your own experiences, you know? But I would say just watch a lot of comedy, try to emulate people that are good at it, you know, write some shit, and then just get up there and shit yourself and do it, you know?
Yeah. Don't take jokes off popsicle sticks either.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, that bullshit, you know?
Man, I don't even want to get into that, man. That was...
He's came to Disclaimer before.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I could be a comedian that day.
He seen one. He didn't like too much.
Yeah.
I mean, the crowd didn't like too much either. It was rough, but
I never seen a person tell 10 jokes and nobody laughed once. Like,
that's not a good look.
like I ain't, man. But this QTM, man. We ain't talking about that, man. But
you're trying to motivate.
Man,
we ain't gonna put him down.
I mean, honestly,
that's what it is, though.
That is good advice. Like, you gotta be fucking self-aware.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta, really, you should record the audio from every set. If, like, you know, because a lot of people do it for a hobby, but I'm like, I'm not gonna try to do nothing if I'm not good at it, you know?
right.
So it's like you record the audio, and then where people laugh, you're like, all right, yeah, this was good. And then when they don't laugh, you're like, maybe I'll never say that again.
Yeah, that's just good advice for like life in general. Like,
Yeah.
you need to be more self-aware. I think we could all take a little bit of that.
Yeah,
That's the worst.
Yeah.
When somebody like it's different when somebody's up there bombing and they know they're bombing.
Yeah.
and they're just up there still fighting it, working it out. But whenever somebody is bombing and they don't know it, and then this is the worst. Whenever like they turn on the crowd, like they're like, oh, so y'all don't know what's funny.
Right.
Y'all. That's when it's like, oh.
Or they just bombed and they get off and they're like, that was a great set.
set.
What-
There's
where-
a lot of that.
where were
that
you
goes
at
on
when
too.
that
There's a
was
lot of
going
that
on?
goes on too because people don't want to be honest. So people get off stage. Like, oh man, you did great job.
Right.
I can't give you that.
That was
If
dog
you did
shit.
good, I won't say that. I'll think it, but
Yeah,
I won't give you the props if you
Nah,
didn't
God, I
do
tell
decent.
you it was a good job.
Or I'll say like I like this joke or something. But if you did bad, I can't walk up because that's messed up
Right.
for me to be
Yeah,
like,
you
oh,
just
you
lying
did
to
great.
him,
Like,
yeah.
no,
Yeah.
that
But
was
it is
terrible.
weird too. I mean, sometimes like a crowd might love your shit, and then you go to the very next show, same shit, and they hate it.
Yeah,
It is odd.
it can be the crowd sometimes. Like
Yeah.
the first time I went to Atlanta, nobody killed, and they brought in this is one dude that was on America's Got Talent, Preacher Lawson.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And like nobody like killed that night. It was weird. They were all just in there like, like nobody was. I was like, dang. But sometimes you can't really blame the crowd because that's what they tell you not to do. But
Right.
sometimes it can be like you get some shitty people in there.
Dude, I saw it was like a YouTube video one time, but it was like these guys. They convinced their buddy to like sign up for an open mic. I think it was maybe like a fantasy football punishment or something.
Damn.
But they told the crowd beforehand when he was going up, and they were like, literally don't laugh at all. So this dude was up there. I mean, his jokes were like pretty decent too, dude, and like nobody even like not even a chuckle.
It probably broke his heart.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's fucked up.
That's what I'm saying. Like I can't like I've like say like I've never bombed like. Not like that to where you don't get like nothing, like
Right,
no,
right.
no. Everybody just looked at you the whole time, like, "Oh wow, no, there's no way." I'll say I'll never bomb. I'm never going out like
Yeah,
that. You're
that's
gonna laugh
good
at something. I'm gonna do
confidence.
something.
Yeah.
I got to do something.
It's almost like
Something.
you got to be trying to make people not laugh. You know,
That's-
like
yeah.
that shit's got to be just
Because even when you bomb, people will just laugh at you bombing.
right. You just acknowledge that it's happening, and then
Yeah.
people, you know.
I was about to
You
say.
just gotta relate. That's all it is. It's
Yeah, I was about to say.
to them.
I was about to say, y'all being comedians, like, would y'all rather it be like silent or would y'all rather people boo you?
Boo you. I'd rather get the booze.
I'd probably rather get booze too. At least they're
Wow.
doing something, you know.
You're evoking emotion. That's your whole job as a comedian is to evoke some emotion. And it's like, if you're booing me, that means like, you could get booed here, and then you could like go down to Florida, say that exact joke, and it might be the exact
Yeah.
opposite. But if you're if they don't say nothing, they're silent. You know, I'm gonna go over here, and they gonna probably still be silent.
Yeah.
Oh, that would suck. Man.
Yeah,
Silence. I haven't. Oh man, booed would suck too. I went and seen you do a show at Jack of the Wood.
Yeah.
You killed it that night, but a comedian on the bill that night got a boo.
Oh yeah,
Just
that
one
was
boo?
sad.
Yeah,
Just like one.
It was like a. It was like
Yeah.
but it wasn't like a somebody hating boo. It was.
like,
It was leaning towards a well-deserved boo. Like, it was getting quiet in there. It was getting quiet for a little bit.
Yeah,
And but nobody like it was good. Like he recovered. Like it was good. Like nobody. But I seen this one comedian. It was weird. I work at the comedy zone up there.
Mm-hmm.
He told a joke, and when the way he did the setup, and like the setup was kind of like a joke in itself, and they booed him for it. And then he hit him with the shit like the punchline, and then they cheered. And then so he ended on that one. That was his time. He did like 20 minutes. He ended on that. And then when the host comes up, it's like, y'all give it up for blah, blah, blah. They booed him again. So I was like,
Damn.
what the?
Yeah, that's
that was
kinda-
weird. Because it was a
Yeah.
funny joke. It was just a edgy joke, but it was funny.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was a Michael
Booing,
Jackson joke. It was
cheering, and
hilarious.
booing. It's like make up your mind.
This is I don't want to. Well, I won't say the comedian's name that way. Nobody will. But the joke was it was something about Michael Jackson's like death, right?
Mhm.
And so he goes, whenever Michael Jackson, they booed him whenever he brought up like Michael Jackson's death or whatever he said, and then he goes, yeah, they were trying to decide whether to cremate him or bury him, and instead they decided to turn Michael Jackson into some Legos and let kids play with him for a change. And like they all laughed whenever at that part, but like
Yeah.
when he set it up, they booed him. They laughed at that part at the punchline. And then whenever the host is like, all right, like when he walked up, y'all give it up. They were like clapping, and they're like they were kind of clapping, and then he's like, y'all give it up one more time for the comedian. And then they all just boo. And I was like, yo, what the? Come on, bro.
Make
Y'all
up
gotta,
your mind,
y'all gotta
you know?
like fix. So it's like crowds can just be on some bullshit one night, get drunk and just be in there,
Right.
you know.
So are there any guidelines though? Like when you're telling a joke, like it's all fair game. Like there's nothing too bad you can say at all. Like it's just.
I mean, I don't know, but it seems like you just got to read the room. Like,
he gave me the best advice. The first open mic I ever went to. I just remember I walked up to him. I was like, "Can I like cuss?" And he's like, "Yeah, you can cuss. Just don't be a dick." That's what he told me. That's like the best advice you can get. That's
Okay.
Like, you got to know, like, I don't know. I guess
because I feel like Dave Chappelle done said some crazy stuff before. You know what I'm saying?
Say that because that's how he done carved out his. It just depends.
Yeah.
It just depends.
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, there's certain stuff like, you know, I try not to. They say like you're not supposed to punch down, you know, and I'm sure there are ways to make jokes about certain topics that are funny. Personally, I'm not gonna risk it. You know, I'm not good enough to where I should be taking risks like that. Personally,
Boy,
I feel you.
Yeah.
I've said some. I ain't gonna lie. Like there's a joke I did and like it got a pretty good laugh. And then I remember I was watching something and somebody was talking about a comedian's similar like joke, like not the same joke, but kind of about the same. They was like, that joke would never fly today. I was like, oh, I kind of did something like that last week. Oh shit! Like I'm so glad I didn't video that set, and I hope nobody's recording it. Like I still think it's funny, like me, because I'm messed up. But
yeah.
I think now, like I probably look back on it, like man, I'm glad I'm like a nobody, like unknown. Like I'm glad that didn't get out, because like. I think it's funny, and comedians would probably think it's funny, but and they laugh. It was one of them like where like so I got that and laughs.
Yeah,
so
I think it depends on like your intent, you know. Like people can tell if you're like being malicious,
Right.
if you're like being an asshole. Like people can take like a lot of times it's like you kind of try to get them on your side, and then you maybe do like a riskier joke like later in the set. You know?
Okay.
Like you don't want to do like a school shooter joke if you like kind of look like one. You know, like you kind of want to, you know, you maybe will skip that topic.
and it's like about not doing it like right at the beginning.
right.
Like you said, like
You don't want to, you don't want to, you kind of got to build people's trust and
Ease
let
them
them,
into it.
I think that goes back to what you were saying about like you want to do stuff about like that's relevant to your life. 'Cause
Right,
it's
right.
like if it doesn't have nothing to do in or pertaining to you, it's like people are gonna be able to pick up on that and feel it. Like
Right.
I can tell like you didn't experience it. You just saying something you think is gonna be funny.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely, I think that's the biggest thing. Like, cause after going to open mics a bunch and stuff, it's like, it seems like some people just do like shit they saw on Facebook, you know, or like it's like
that's
you got to mine your own life for like
That's what bro was
material. That's
mad
the
at him.
only way to like be original, you know.
Yeah.
Shit that's happened to you, shit you've been through, like everything else under the sun has been done pretty much.
That's what hurts too, because you'll write a funny joke, like an abstract type thing, and you're like, oh, this is really funny. But then the more you think about it, you're like, somebody's had to say this before.
Yeah.
Like even when I write something funny and like I don't, you know, I know I haven't heard it anywhere. It's just like if it's about a topic or about something, it's like somebody's already done it. You know, it's like nobody's done, like he said, nobody's done your.
I think though too, like certain things is like as long as you're not like blatantly ripping something off, like you're good.
Yeah.
You know, like nobody owns a topic, nobody owns a premise.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
But there's this one thing they call it like cryptomnesia or something.
Where it's like
It's like the opposite of amnesia, where you think you thought of something, but you've actually like heard it before.
That's gotta
that's
happen all the time.
and that's rough if you watch like a lot of stand up, because
Right.
you might just be writing something down and then like think you really did it, and then nah, like that's something you heard as a kid and it's just in your
Right.
subconscious.
Right.
So it is hard about that.
So you said, oh, go ahead.
Sometimes I'll write a joke and then if I'll be like that kind of, I'll like read it in the voice of the comedian I think might have said it, and if it sounds even something like what they do, I was like, all right, I ain't gonna do it.
So you said you try not to watch Theo Von because you don't want to like emulate him too much. Like you do watch other like comedian podcasts and stuff or stand up material, or you just try to avoid it all.
I watch a lot of I watch a lot of stand up. I mean, my favorite stand up is Norm Macdonald.
Oh man,
I can see you kind of having like that.
So I'll go through and just watch all his shit. But I'm like, I don't like to watch too many podcasts just because I don't have the attention span for it, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that like, because a lot of them they kind of work out the bits and stuff on the podcast.
Oh, right.
Like you watch the special and then it's like, oh, they already did. Like I think that. But I do like to watch just like stand up.
Yeah.
But yeah, the podcast, I'm like, I ain't got I'd rather.
that's always my background stuff. Like if I'm taking a shower or doing the dishes or whatever, like you don't really have to be watching. Like you're not gonna miss.
True,
anything, you know what I'm saying?
true.
It's
Yeah.
not like a TV show where you got to be locked in.
I just wait till you hear them laugh, and then you got to run it back. Then rewind it. Let me see what they talking about.
There are some. God, I'll go and watch like the highlight reels where they'll put the highlight reels up.
Yeah.
Just from a bunch of episodes, and I'm like, all right, yeah, this I can deal with.
How much time we got you for, my man?
Let's see, we got about 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Anything you want to like promote or anything?
Let's see.
Plug in your socials.
media.
Yeah, all
Let's
that.
see my social
shows.
media, Instagram, Ryan Gordon, LMAO.
You gotta spell it. I'm sorry, but some of y'all.
RYAN GORDON LMAO. Laugh my ass off.
Yes.
Same on TikTok. I think YouTube also. I don't really post on there because I'm lazy.
I can't get into it, bro. Myself, I just
YouTube?
yeah, I can't like, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. The idea of me making like a 20-minute video, because I know all the ads and stuff. Like I know the ads and stuff. You know, if you have a 20-minute video, you probably gonna have about 3 or 4 ads in there.
Yeah.
I just can't like think of material that's gonna keep somebody watching for 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just.
I feel that.
Especially in the space I'm in, bro. It's kind of hard to do that, bro. That's why, like, I be trying to, in my head, I be trying to switch up, but it's
The
just,
attention span's getting shorter and shorter. I be thinking about that. Like, should I just drop parts of this stuff? Like, do it part 1, part 2, and it's like that's a lot of work, though.
I've noticed with other people though, like that's what they do, and
They
the
just
numbers
drop
go
it in.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's
they
like
like Vlad
you
TV,
have an
they
hour-long interview, but it's
Cut it into
podcast
8 parts.
Yeah,
Yeah. Makes sense.
Guess I need to start doing that. It's a lot of work. Like, God.
it is.
Right? Hell yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, my boy Trop be putting in, he be carrying the load, bro. For real, you do, bro.
It's just the editing, man. I'd be so back to. That's why I would get you to plug your show dates, but it probably ain't gonna come out in time for this.
Shit,
I
you doing
know it.
better than
Everybody
me.
that watch, I know it. People don't come on here, they be hitting me up. When the episode coming out, man, I'm gonna get to it. I'm about to fuck with you. Nah, it's just a lot though, the editing process. But man,
Yeah, I
appreciate
did
you
it.
coming through, swinging through, stopping
yeah.
by, man. You're the first comedian on the Qualified to Motivate
Hell
podcast.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's all uphill from here.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
sir.
You're on your way to stardom. My
That's
boy.
right. No, it's pretty nice. It was nice chatting with you. I was nervous. I get nervous easily.
It's all good, man. You're
You
good at
can't
that.
tell.
Yeah,
I'll say
all right,
that.
that's
Like,
good.
I
That's
didn't-
good.
You definitely did pretty good for
All
sure.
right, hell yeah. I do like talking about comedy. So
Good, man. We'll have you back on here and get you another episode in.
Hell
Man. I
yeah.
want to do one, probably a disclaimer one day with like 3 or 4 or 5
yeah.
comedians. It'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
man. It's been Qualified to Motivate, man. I'm your boy, Dante. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know the guys, QTM crew in here. And our man, Ryan Gordon.
Thank y'all for watching,
Hello.
listening.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for coming, man. It's been
Hell
good.
yeah. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.